Sadnam Aloha. So today's transmission is on the full moon that's coming up on April 12th, activating the 32nd gate, third line. So let's just do the outline here. So the theme here with the gate 32.3 is where the divine feminine starts telling the truth for this full moon. And so we'll go over the full moon, the codes, and this is the shadow of failure. And then we'll look at the 36th gate because that's really getting our attention in this chart. We'll go over some squirrel medicine, go some vulture medicine because Venus, Mercury, Saturn, and the North Node are all activating the 36th gate. And then Chiron is conjunct the sun, opposing the full moon. So that's another one that's drawing our attention. That makes this full moon unusual. And then we'll do the Phoenix fractal reading. And then we'll go over the twin flame message, and then the human design types, and then the closing. Okay, so here's the chart here. And remember, if you're not familiar with human design, to go to the information box and get yourself your free chart. Okay, so there we go. We've got the 32. So this is the spleen, the splenic awareness system here with the 32. Moon's activating the 32. And you see that we have all these 36s here, but I'll go over them in a while. So this is about the divine feminine speaking the truth for this full moon. And the full moon is the culmination point. Things get illuminated for you. So it's building a pressure. You're probably feeling it now. It's April 8th. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. So you've got the 32.3. It's the shadow of failure. It's the gift of preservation. And the keynote, because it's the third line, see? It's conservatism. So it's coming off the spleen center. So right away, it's about our instinct, survival, and duration. And this is our most ancient awareness system. This right here, the splenic awareness system. So it's very instinctual, right? It's connected to our biology. So shadow is fear of failure, gift is preservation, and the line 3 is about trial and error of what to keep, right? So this is about what you're keeping as you move forward on your journey, your spiritual journey. So, right, feminine starts telling the truth here. So this is when you start looking around at your relationships. There's such a theme around relationships for this last, this year actually, really. So it's when you look around at your relationships, your habits, your choices, and you admit, this isn't going to last. This is not going to endure, right? And I'm not going down with it. It's the Titanic, and I'm not going down with it now. So this line, the third line, holds the frequency of discernment without drama, without the drama. It's just very neutral. It's not reactive. It's not impulsive. It's quiet, clean, and a sobering instinct. It's finally seeing the truth of your relationship. Like, this is not going to work, right? These karmic relationships. So let's go a little bit here. So the totem is the vulture for the 32. And so vultures are really, really interesting animals if you look a little bit more deeply into them. So the vultures, they don't fear death. They work with it. So the 32 has that kind of flavor to it. This is like a tribal gate, the 32nd gate. And it's about what are we going to keep and what are we going to throw away? Like what can we preserve here as we move forward? So you're looking at that as an individual, as you as an individual in your life. So vultures, they clean what's rotting, what's already done and complete, right? That's already dead. So they're the ultimate transmuters. They turning decay into life force. So the gate 32 knows what's worth preserving. It has an instinct for it. It knows what needs to be let go of, cleaned up, and consumed. So vulture's saying you've been trying to save what's already dead. There's something that's already dead in your life, and the energy just isn't there anymore, and you're trying to save it. You're trying to keep it alive. Vulture says feed on it, transform it, and move on. So this is really the death priestess energy archetype. And so the vulture is a feminine death guardian. So she's sacred, but she's misunderstood. The vulture's misunderstood. And she keeps the ecosystem healthy by doing what no one else will. Now, does that sound familiar? That's the Pluto and Scorpio women. So if you have Pluto and Scorpio, you're heavy. You got like a lot of planets in Scorpio. You have a stellium in Scorpio. Even if you have Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio, or you just resonate with this message, then right, you're gonna relate to this vulture. So the Pluto Scorpio women are misunderstood like the vultures, right? But they keep the system, the spiritual system, healthy by doing what no one else will do. So Pluto and Scorpio women hold pain. They transmute karmic contracts. They clear ancestral rot. That's what they do naturally. And they choose what's truly worth keeping. So this is, you don't have to carry it. You just consume the lesson like the vulture. You consume the lesson and then you fly on. So this is about vulture teaches us about rebirth through decay, and that's what the 32nd gate is doing. So the vultures are symbols of purification, shadow integration, letting go of attachments with dignity, keeping your dignity, right? And they're also solar animals, and they open their wings to cleanse through the sun. So what vulture's saying is, this isn't your shame. We're letting go, right, of a relationship. This is sacred shadow work that you're doing here. So stop trying to preserve what's already passed. And you're not failing, right? You're just finishing up a cycle. Finishing up a cycle. So let what's dead die and clear the field. The sacred lives on, not through clinging, but through release. So why it's saying here finishing up a cycle is this, right? So there's the 32 and the 54. That's the channel of transformation if these two are activated. And then you've got the 42. That's in the sun position, and Chiron's here, but it's not in the natal chart, but it's here. Chiron, the Chiron and the sun are in the 42. And the 42-53, this is about this channel of maturation, is really about going through cycles of experience, the 53-42. So back to here. So, so it's finishing up a cycle. So don't look at it like you're failing, because the ego can do that, which I'll talk about here. So the 32, right, the shadow of failure, the gift of preservation, this is gut level knowing. So you don't need a logical reason. You just feel it in your bones, what's already dead. And as a divine feminine, your body is like so filled with wisdom. All your wisdom, your answers, everything you're seeking is in your body. And so you're going to feel it in your bones. It's already gone. It's already dead. And the thing is with, ancient spiritual teachings, it's the woman that starts the relationship, and it's the woman that finishes the relationship. Even if the man comes and he's like been cheating on you and blah blah blah, right? It's you spiritually. It's the woman spiritually starts the relationship. It starts in your pituitary. It starts the relationship because you're sending out a frequency out into the field, and that brings in the masculine to you. And then when you're done with that relationship, you send this frequency out as well. And this is like this dead energy, right? This dead energy. So it's really like you're in charge of the relationships. Even if the one's like, no, I'm breaking up with you, the man saying that to you, it's like, no, it's you. You're in charge of it as the divine feminine. So you know in your bones, in your body, what's already dead. What's already dead. So the 32.3 whispers, this job won't hold. If you have a job that's dying, this relationship is already leaking. This container doesn't fit who I'm becoming. You're the little flower in the pot, right? And you're growing and you're blooming and you're expanding. And you need to be in a big pot. And the little pot is like this relationship. You're not going to fit in who you're becoming, right? So you don't need proof. You don't need logical proof. You don't need to get on the stand in court and say, this is why, the logical reasons why I'm ending this relationship. You just need to trust your preservation instinct. And that's coming from your body. It's coming from your body. So this line breaks the pattern of just holding on, right? The line 3, the 32.3, like you're just barely holding on. It's you've tried. Right? You've adapted. It's trial and error. You've moved through trial and error process. You've compromised. But line 3 says, I've stayed long enough to know what isn't changing. Right? It's just not changing. Even though there's a lot of talk about change. No, I want to change. Oh, yeah, I want to go to therapy. But you have to look at the action. Right? At the action and feel it in your body. No, it's not changing. I can feel it. It's not changing. So this is about cutting energetic cords to preserve your life force, because you're feeding this energy with your life force, trying to keep it alive. And now the full moon is like, no, it's gone. It's dead. I'm not going to feed anything that's dead anymore. And this is what I'm going to do, right? Here she is in the cemetery, and there's something alive, right? There's something alive there, but this has to go. There's death that has to happen before growth can happen for you. So the feminine must ask, right? So again, it's not failure, because this is what the ego will come in and say, well, you failed in that relationship, and you failed this marriage, and you failed this role that you were in. No, there's no such thing here as failure and success. It's about completion. It's just about completing cycles. We're not supposed to be in a destination, especially if you're a Pluto and Scorpio. You're always on the move. You're like the shapeshifters of the zodiac, right? If you've got a lot of Scorpio in your chart, you're constantly going through this birth, rebirth process. So, I mean, you may not have a match for you. Maybe your divine masculine is a match for you and can go through that transformational process with you. But this is saying, like, to complete it, right? To complete this cycle that you're in. So the feminine, the divine feminine must ask, what am I preserving and why? Am I holding on because it's sacred? Remember I talked about the High Priestess? Is this sacred, or am I scared? Am I holding on because it's sacred? This relationship is sacred to me. It's growing and evolving. I'm growing and evolving as a soul. Or is it because I'm scared, right? I don't want to change. I want to hold on and cling to this. Am I staying because it's stable? And I put that in air quotes, or because I don't believe I can rebuild, right? I'm too scared to go out and rebuild my life and start anew. Is this relationship really enduring, or have I been managing its slow decay, right? So this is gate 32.3 medicine. Preserve what's fertile. What has energy and what's fertile, and release what has expired. You know, it's like if you got expired milk in your fridge, it's time to let it go, right? Throw it out, leave it behind. And then, so if something's been feeling off for months, right? And the spleen is about smell too. I love that. It's about smell, right? So if something's smelling off, it doesn't smell good anymore, right? It's off for months. You're not overthinking it, right? 32.3 is not about thinking. It's about your instinct. It's about your body. So the part of your soul that tracks what's real and what's rotting. What's real? It gives you the gift of discernment, right? What's real and what's rotting. So this is not your fear speaking here. This is your preservation intelligence. It's in your body. Your body's going to let you know. So discernment is the exact frequency of the gate 32. And the question that activates your spleen, the body's instinct, and not the romantic mind, is, would I trust this man to father my child? This is if you don't even plan to have children, but just ask yourself this question. Would I trust this man that I'm in a relationship right now to father my child, to take care of my child? Would I trust this man? And that takes you right to your body instinct, out of the romance, right? The conditioned mind, right? So, you know, is he consistent or is he chaotic? Can he hold space when under pressure? When I'm under pressure, can he hold space? Does he protect or is he all talk? Can he regulate his nervous system or does he collapse when you express your emotions? That's going to give you a big signal. Like, no, I would not trust that man with if I had a child. He's a child himself, right? That's going to give you lots of information about this is not worth preserving for you. And remember, the divine feminines are starting to step into their power, right? And with that comes a lot of, it's like the sleeping giant, right? Imagine a sleeping giant in your home. And the sleeping giant it's been asleep for thousands of years and it starts to awaken, starts to create an earthquake in your home, right? That's like you when you start waking up, starting to ripple through all your relationships, your whole environment, right? That's change. So we got to look at, if we go back here, we got to look at this 36, because look where it is. It's in the North Node, it's in Mercury, it's in Venus, it's in Saturn. This is like a big message. Look over here, look over here. And I've talked about the 36 before, but not from the totem animal. So the 36 totem animal is squirrel, right? Is the squirrel. And this is the darkening of the light, the 36th gate. This is the dark night of the soul, right? So it comes from off the solar plexus center. So that means it's emotional. So this is an emotional wave gate. And like I said, South Node, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, all sitting here during this full moon. So let's talk about the squirrel. The squirrel's adaptive. It's alert. It's emotionally intelligent without being reactive. It's able to move through chaos while protecting vital resources. Intuitively knows when to retreat and when to leap and when to rest. So gate 36 is like the shadow of turbulence. It's emotional turbulence. But what does the squirrel say? Not all storms require a reaction. Some just require preparation. So Saturn in the 36.4 is about an emotional maturity test. Saturn is always testing us. Can you stay steady when the light goes dim, when things start going wrong, when people start freaking out? Can you stay steady? Venus there, 36.3. This is heart chaos. These are old romantic karmas surfacing for release, especially for divine feminines. Mercury in the 36.6. This is mind is overwhelmed, insight is distorted, and you want to watch for miscommunication rooted in fear with this placement. And then South Node is actually it's your North Node. It's not South Node. So this is like your emotions, right? So the 36 is like a wormhole. It's like a wormhole here. So it's saying to embrace this emotional storm. If you've got emotional turmoil that's coming through your body, that's the chaos, right? So Pluto and Scorpio women, divine feminines, you're built for this chaos, this emotional chaos. So you want to embrace it, right? Embrace it. Because it's your work. It's like you're the vulture, and then this is your work to feed on and consume and alchemize. So you let the storm move through you, right? That chaos move through you. And what will come out of this when the storm is gone, and that means like feeling it, like allowing it, making a space for it, and really going deep with it, like just riding that storm, let it go, like move through you. And then after that is the calm, and that's the awareness, right? That's your awareness starts to expand. It's like your internal being becomes way more expansive, not so constricted, right? So this is what this is saying here, the North Node. Okay, so this is embrace your emotions, alchemize them. And yeah, Scorpios know how to do this. Instinctively, I don't even need to teach you. You should be teaching me this. So this is the collective dark night activation. But you've been here before, right? You have been here before. You've gone through many dark nights of the soul already. And that's what, if we, let's go more into Squirrel though. Squirrel's got a lot of wisdom to share. So how to integrate the 36th gate in this transmission. You want to acknowledge the chaos. So this full moon is carrying the energy of emotional overwhelm, right? So you do not fear your emotions. Do not fear your emotions or getting overwhelmed, right? That's all your ego and your mind. Right? No, I can't handle all these emotions. I'm going to break. My body can't handle it. Blah, blah, blah. Those are all victim stories. And that's from the ego. Right? You wouldn't be given so many emotions, so like an intensity of emotions if you weren't able to work with them and transmute them, right? And we're talking about past lives, right? Past lives are really, really coming up now in 2025. So don't go into that state like, oh, I can't handle it. It's like you can totally handle it. But you don't need to drown in it, right? You don't need to drown in it. If you're working with it, like consciously working with your emotions, you don't need to drown in them, right? So you're not here to like get rid of the storm. Like, how do I get rid of this storm? It's like you're going to ride it, right? With grace, with grace. So you want to honor the dark night as an initiation, so many of you are in your personal night, your dark night, and your feelings are big, and the path isn't clear, and this is not the end. This is the test before the rebirth. So and I'm warning you, I'm cautioning you that it will come. These emotions will come. But you're going to be the squirrel. You're going to be ready for it, right? Squirrel is prepared. So you want to be like the squirrel and gather what's true. Protect your resources. Don't burn your nervous system out trying to make other people understand, right? They're not going to understand you, right? If you're on my fractal, you have such an intensity of emotions that you feel, right? Through, like, some people seem to be riding through life and not experiencing these intensity of emotions, but you do. So don't try to make people understand like, oh, I'm going through the dark night of the soul and blah, blah, blah. They're not going to understand because they're not you. They don't know what's going on inside you, right? But this is just your work, right? You're the alchemist. So, and then the other thing to learn about Squirrel is Squirrel stores acorns in multiple places. Squirrel doesn't keep all her energy in one spot. So Squirrel's spreading out her reserves. So if one stash is lost, she's not thrown off. She's got another stash. So this is saying to don't place all your energy into one outcome. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Don't place all your energy into one outcome, one person, or one emotional source. You want to diversify your sources of joy, nourishment, and rest. So, right, even with a couple friends, don't be relying on just one person, or you got all my it has to be this way, like this expectation. And that's the sun, 42, the 42nd gate, and that's expectation that it's got to be this way, right? And it's like, no, you want to really be open-minded. So Squirrel knows when it's best to be seen and when to be still. So Squirrel's not trying to be the loudest animal in the woods, and Squirrel knows when to move fast and when to freeze. So not every moment is meant for your visibility, and stillness can be a sacred strategy. So the 36 is a powerful emotional wave, and it wants to crash out. But Squirrel says calm is a form of power, to remain calm. So Squirrel remembers where it hid the nuts, right? Even under the snow, even months later. Squirrel returns to hidden stashes. So this is about you have buried truth inside you, right? And if you haven't watched my video on the Cathars, please watch that. I'm going to put a link up around here by me, just above my head, right? So you want to watch that if you haven't watched that before. So this is the remembering. The remembering is going to happen, right? So remember that I'm not teaching you anything. What I'm doing is help to activate your memory from your body, right? It's all stored within your body, Divine Feminine. So this is you, right? Opening up to the buried truth inside you, not to forget to protect it from long ago. And this means you honor your body. If your body's feeling constricted and you can't breathe, and you're sick and you're in pain, you are in the wrong environment, you are in the wrong fractal, you are with the wrong people, right? So you want to feel relaxed. Your body wants to feel relaxed, right? If you're relaxed around certain people, it's a good sign they're on your fractal. If you're in an environment where you can relax and you can breathe deeply, right? You feel like you can really be yourself. You're not being judged. You don't feel like you got to put a dog and pony show on. That's your fractal. It's your fractal. And the more you relax, the more these hidden nuts come up, right? Your hidden stashes of truth will start to release from your body. And they go all the way back 800 years ago to the Cathars. So this full moon is really a chance, a moment for you to retrieve, right? To retrieve this. So what acorns have you buried in your soul? What acorns were buried in you 800 years ago that are ready, right? The prophecy of the Cathars is they would all come back, right? 700 years later in 2021. So there's a mass awakening right happening. And the acorns, the wisdom is buried in your soul. And these are your gifts, right? Your gifts, your divine gifts that you're here to share, this like ancient knowledge that they tried to destroy, right? So are you ready to return to them now? So Squirrel's message for this full moon in the 36 is you don't need to fix the chaos around you. You only need to befriend your inner instinct and let others spin out and freak out and trip out, right? But you're going to be sitting in your truth and your fire and your acorn of knowing. So you know a storm is coming, right? You know a storm is coming. These are the emotional storms. I don't want to get too deep into this because I feel like a broken record for all my videos, but we're evolving through the emotional body. So you know, so you want to be the squirrel now, and you're going to be prepared for this. And this means doing your emotional work as it comes, right? I call it sweep as you go, sweep as you go. And then it won't be so like a tidal wave. It's going to be a tidal wave for a lot of people. So not all preparation is fear-based. Sometimes it's a devotion to the future timeline that you've already seen. And we talked about that in the last video, right? That you have seen the future timeline, maybe through dreams, or you've just had flashes where you've seen yourself and where you're supposed to be, and your intuition's been communicating that to you, that you've seen your future timeline. This is what you devote to, right? This is what you're devoted to. Okay, and the other thing was Chiron. The sun and Chiron are conjunct, opposing, opposite the moon. So Chiron's about a wound. In the 42.3, it's about beginnings and endings, the 42. So this is the wound of endings, right? It's really like the 41 is beginnings and 42 is endings. So this is the wound of endings. And this is the gift, is the soul level closure. So this is not too good with endings, not too good with goodbyes. Maybe that's a wound that you have natally, right? But we're all going to feel this. Right? Because what do we do when we end something? We have to feel the grief. And that's the last of the attachment. Like our hearts are attached to an experience that we're having. And this could be a relationship. But we have to feel the grief to really let it go. Right? And then it's gone. So what it's saying here with the sun and the Chiron here is that you've outgrown what you're still trying to keep alive, and now you must let it go. Not perfectly. It's not going to be a perfect goodbye, but you want to be authentic. You want to let go truthfully. And you'll feel like you failed, but you didn't, right? So you're just carrying the wound of past endings that were never clean, that will come up, like all the times that I ended a relationship, or I had to leave my family, or I had to leave some situation, right? That will come up, and that's just the wound of past endings. But again, it's grief. So to preserve the future, 32 is about preserving your future and what you're bringing with you, right? You must grieve what's ending. So this is a confrontation between your emotional instinct and your karmic maturity. So you don't need to know what's next, right? You just need to know, right? You need to end what's no longer true. So that's all you have to focus on. And don't have your 1 foot, one foot's here, and then 1 foot I need to be in the exit door, and I need to know where I'm going. I'm not going to go forward unless I'm not going to end something unless I know that there's something to go to. It's like, no, you don't do that. Your job is to end what's no longer true. Don't be focused on what's next. What's next will appear after you let go. And so this process may feel raw, unresolved, and emotional. So line 3 isn't about doing it perfectly, right? It's trial and error. Line 3 is about being real about it, right? And this is your hard-earned wisdom. This is your hard-earned wisdom through your experience that you learn. That's what line 3 says. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then back to this. So we did these, and then let's go to the readings. Okay. So for the fractal, just to get a little sense, I did an overall reading for the fractal line. The Phoenix fractal line here. And so, again, if you're on my fractal line, you'll like the sound of my voice. My voice is a little bit off tonight. And your body will feel relaxed, right? And that's how you know you're on my fractal. Let me know. Maybe my voice sounds fine to you. It sounds a little bit weird to me. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what we got here for the full moon, we've got the Ten of Pentacles here. And so this is about lineage, right? Lineage. This is about inheriting something from your family, your ancestors. So this is about emotional. It's not just about money, right? It's about emotional patterns. It's belief systems that the fractals inherited. Trauma contracts that have been passed down. And so this says many women on the fractal, the divine feminines, are carrying unprocessed grief of their mothers and their grandmothers, and especially around survival, because it's linked to the 32, right? Survival over pleasure. Survival over pleasure, the Ten of Pentacles here. This is staying in marriages for safety, for survival. It's not about love. It's not about your soul's evolution. And so this is about not owning your body or your voice. And so this is, you're not born to repeat it. This is a repeating program here, a repeating pattern from your ancestral line, but you were born to end it, right? So you're born to end it. You're not here to repeat it because the world is next door to this, right? So you're here to end it. And it starts with you. So what gets preserved? What gets preserved here? And what finally ends with you? And this is what I tell people that are black sheep, right? A lot of black sheep on this fractal. I never fit in with my family. I always felt like an alien, an outsider, and right? They never understood me. I never understood them. I always felt like an outsider. Well, because you're the alchemist. You're here to alchemize, right? This work, right? This work. So the patterns get passed down the line, but you're the one that says it ends with me. I'm not continuing this pattern. I'm not expressing it out in the world anymore. It ends with me. That's the alchemist, i.e. black sheep. So then this is the world, and this is the end of a karmic cycle. This is completion, right? Completion. This is that 42. It's completion. So this is the Chiron in the 42nd gate message, and it's saying you've done the work. You've done the work already. You've taken the programs, right? You've done the trainings. You've done it all, and now it's over, right? It's over. So you want to let it close, right? You let it close with this full moon, and so there's no need to explain or fix or go back one more time. I better do it one more time. It's like, no, the chapter's closed. It's done. So the universe, the divine, is handing you the seal if you'll accept it. Completion is done, right? Completion is not rejection, it's reverence. Let it be done. So if you're in some karmic relationship, and right, the divine is saying you got the lesson. You got the lesson from that relationship. You're done. It's time to move on now. Right? It's like you graduated. You're at a grade 2. You got flying colors in grade 2, right? All A's. And now it's time to go to grade 3. You're not running back to grade 2, right? You're moving on. You've evolved. That's what the divine says. The world. You're done. You're done. So then you've got the fractal's got the 4 of cups here, and this is it could be emotional numbness or reflection. So this is the post, right? You've gone through all this work, and then it's kind of, you land, and then this is the post-initiation low. So this is where the nervous system gets still, right? The nervous system gets still after the storm. So you may feel unmotivated or tired, right? Detached, emotionally flat. But this is a sacred pause. That's what this is saying. It's a sacred pause for you. It's not depression. Don't let your mind and ego tell you that it's depression. It's a sacred pause from this. All this work that you've been doing, like the family work you've been doing. So you're not lost. You're integrating. So if you're tired and it's like, I can't believe I don't have any energy and blah, 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 blah. Well, it's a sacred pause. Right? So that you can integrate all this work. So your body can catch up, basically. So let yourself feel the quiet, it says. And the next cup is coming, right? Look at the cup. There's these 3 empty ones, but there's a cup that's coming. So to trust that. So this full moon, if you got to rest, rest. Remember the full moon is 3 days, right? 3 days in total, this energy. And then you've got the 5 of Swords reversed down here. And this is burnout. It's soul exhaustion. And so this is the divine feminines, the high priestesses. They're carrying way too much. Emotionally, spiritually, and energetically. They're caretaking others. They're holding trauma. They're running businesses, right? Managing their own healing. And this full moon says, put it down, right? Take a load off. And not everything sacred has to be heavy, right? So you're allowed to rest. This is another resting message. You're allowed to lay it down. And then the anchor up here, right? Because it's this, right? The 5 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, right? To let this go. Just rest. And then you got the 6 of Cups reversed as the anchor card. And this is letting go of old letting go of old soul ties. Yeah, it's like 1:30 a.m. here. I'm a little bit punch drunk. Anyway, just with my forming words here. So this is the karmic contract that's on hooking, right? So especially past life or early childhood bonds, right? This is the one person. This one person is still lingering in your field, right? There's one person. Maybe they're not physically around, but they're in your field, right? Their presence is in your field. So this is about memory, right? So you can love a memory. Oh, I have wonderful memories with that person, right? But it doesn't define your future. It's a memory. It's an experience you've already had in the past. So this is about letting this go, right? This old soul tie here. And then the spirit animal is the swan, right? The swan. So the swan is the evolved feminine, right? So this is grace, reflection, spiritual maturity. So swan glides, right? She has depth. She's connected to the underworld of feeling and the beauty of stillness, right? So this is like go into your deep, deep feminine truth and let your elegance be elegant and grace, bring grace into your life, right? Let your feminine really rise from all this healing that you've been doing, divine feminine. So this is that's full moon is like you're not in a crisis, right? You're not in a crisis. You're in a closing. You're closing a chapter up. So let the chapter end and let the burden drop. Drop the burdens and say goodbye to the soul ties that were never meant to come with you. They were only meant to go with you, walk the path with you for a certain amount of time, right? They're not there for the whole journey. So the storm came to shake the tree, right? The storm, the emotional storm came to shake the tree up. And what falls was never yours, and what remains is your power. Yeah. Okay. Very, very good. So shedding, the theme here is shedding the burdens the feminine was never meant to carry, right? So you'll know. Preservation, like what burdens am I carrying? Preservation, I'm dropping these burdens. That's what these cards are saying as I move forward on my journey. Okay, so that's the fractal. Okay, so let's go to the twin flames here. You got a lot of cards here for the twin flames. Okay, so this card is for you, divine feminines. It's not about your divine masculine. It's about you. You need to focus on you. Right? And it's because whether or not he shows up, right, in this lifetime, your work, your healing, and your power is not on pause. You're not waiting for your divine masculine to do your work. Right? So let's look at this. The Page of Swords. Full moon. Right here. Where is the divine feminine now? Here. Well, she's watching. Divine feminine's watching, listening, tracking, not moving yet, gathering information here. So the divine feminine's very aware of her field, right? She's very, very aware of her masculine, her divine masculine, and what he's up to. So this could be your divine masculine or your false twin, your karmic too. So you can read it either way. It's like the main masculine in your life. Say it like that. And then, but she's stuck in the head. You're seeing the signs, right? You're in the field. You can see, you're sensing things, but you're stuck in your head and you're carrying the energy. Should I say something? Should I act? Should I take action? So this is trying to understand. It's trying to understand with your head. This connection, your karmic connection or your twin flame connection. And this is like, you don't need more information. That's the message. You need to trust your own knowing, right? So this is like the spying card, right? So you want to trust your own knowing, divine feminine, you know. And then the Two of Wands, what you're letting go of is this, the Two of Wands. And this is, you've been standing at the edge of a new life. You can see your new life. You see the future timeline. You're imagining a future that never lands. So you want to let go of waiting. This is the waiting card. Let go of potential. And you can't carry two timelines anymore. Right? So maybe you've got your karmic, right? I'm waiting for my karmic to change and rise so that he can go on this future timeline with me. Or I'm waiting for my twin, right? I can see my twin in the future here, right? But you're waiting, and waiting is not good. You're on pause. You don't want to be doing that. You want to let this go. You want to be moving forward on your journey. And this is... So 32.3 says to stop preserving what you already know is done. This is with the Two of Wands. If you know that the karmic is done, there's nothing happening, then you already know it's done. The 32.3 says this. And then you've got the 10 of Cups, what's being completed. And this is the Chiron in the 42. So this is huge here. So the fantasy of union is being surrendered. Not love itself, but the illusion, because the Ten of Cups can be the illusion of what it's going to look like, right? It's got to look a certain way. It's got to come in at a certain time on my timeline, or it's going to be fulfilled when the masculine shows up, right? So this is you're not losing love, the Ten of Cups here. It's that you're releasing the fantasy that that love had to be delivered through him, right? Through your divine masculine, your masculine in your life. So this is the healing wound of emotional dependence, right? And they do seem kind of codependent, these two. And then you've got the Eight of Wands here, and what you're reclaiming is your fire. Wands are fiery. Your momentum, your forward movement. So the gate is opened and the energy is flowing, it says here. When you let go of the weight, right? The weight, everything shifts really fast. So you don't need closure to move. You just need to stop holding yourself back. So stop holding yourself back, Divine Feminine. So this is the swan energy, right? Swan energy in motion, graceful, swift, no longer waiting for permission, just moving forward. And then this is what's awakening in you, Divine Feminine. This is the Hangman in reverse. And this is the pause is over, right? There's been some pausing here with these two. The loop is breaking. The martyr role is done. Your martyr role is done. And you're waking up to your own power to choose. So you don't need to keep hanging upside down to be spiritual. You've already been initiated, right? So now it's time to rise, flip up, right? So this is the final push at a limbo, this Hangman reverse, and this is the beginning of your embodiment of your own self-sovereignty. And then the anchor card is the Lovers and the Empress. This is the Divine Feminine card, but in reverse. So this is like you're still holding the wound, right? This wound, and this is the feminine wound. It's like, if I do enough, right? If I change myself enough, then he'll choose me. He'll choose me. So this is the wound of not being chosen, right? So this is, you're reclaiming what it means to be an emperor, an empress for yourself. It's not dependent on your masculine. That you're not a reflection to a man. So this is being the empress for you. So this is deep mother wound. Right here is a mother wound, right? Especially if your mother told you, well, you dress a certain way for the attention of men, or you wear makeup and you have your beauty routines and stuff, and it's all about the attention of the masculine, right? That would be a mother wound here. So this is about self-nourishment of yourself, your self-worth, and being the feminine without over-giving, right? So you're not waiting to be chosen by a man. You're not waiting to be validated by a man, right? You're choosing yourself, Divine Feminine. So this is, you've been the caregiver, the one holding it all together, the backbone, and yet you're emotionally starved. You're doing it all, right? All for that attention of the masculine throwing you a crumb or two. Because really it's your masculine is not capable, right, in your life to revere you, right? But in your family, it says this too, your family relied on you but rarely saw you like the true you, your soul, and your inner child still aches for the masculine to pick her up, fight for her, claim her as worthy, protect her. But the Lover's reverse has showed up so many times on your journey that you're an option. You're not a sacred choice, right? Here. Okay. Okay, so no more overgiving for you. So this says that you've been the empress for others, but you haven't been the empress for yourself. So you need nourishment. You need rest to rest without feeling guilty. You need to receive without proving. You don't need to earn your love. You need to feel worthy without serving, right? Yeah. Okay, so you want to choose yourself. And this is the first initiation. When you choose yourself, you release the masculine archetype that didn't choose you, didn't pay attention to you. It goes back to your family of origin, right? Your father was MIA, and a lot of Pluto and Scorpio women. I'm going to do a video on this, actually. There was a conjunction. What was it? Neptune-Saturn conjunction during the 80s and 90s. Saturn conjunct Neptune and Capricorn, and that's like the father being MIA, father missing, or if he's there, he's just there in body, he's not there in spirit, he's completely unavailable, right? So that's a Pluto and Scorpio wound, is the father wound, right? So that would play out in their relationships, but you need to start choosing you, not be looking to that masculine to give your inner child what she didn't receive. Okay. And what else? Oh, the spirit animals. So you got moth, divine feminine, and zebra upside down. So this is about chasing. The moth is chasing the flame, right? Chasing the flame and getting burned. And the zebra reversed is about hiding the weirdness. Hiding your weirdness, hiding your uniqueness. And this is the wild beauty, like to embrace your wild beauty and all the aspects of your feminine, right? The wild feminine. So stop chasing light that burns you and stop hiding the parts that make you full and divine with this. So this full moon, divine feminine, is asking you to choose the real, the authentic over the romantic, right? This romantic facade here. To stop preserving dead timelines, to let the fantasy die so that your soul can finally rise. And you don't need to hang in the ache and the grief. You don't need to chase the flame. You're the empress, you're the fire. And the union begins with you. On the twin flame journey, this is for both divine feminine and divine masculine. The union starts with you. So stop waiting for your divine masculine to come in as a white knight and save you. Here I am. I'm going to whisk you away and save you from all your lessons. No, you've got to come into union first, right? This is all the relationship paradigms are completely being blown apart by the twin flame relationship. So it's about dropping all of this stuff that you've received from your mother, right? Divine feminine, it's right there. It's a mother wound. Okay, let go of that conditioning. Okay, and what do we got next here is the projectors. Okay, so for this full moon here, what do we got? We got the Six of Pentacles here. So this says it's time for the projectors, divine feminine projectors, to stop overgiving. So you're designed, projector, to wait for your invitation, but you've been overgiving just to feel seen and worthy, right? Please recognize me. So you've been overgiving. So this card says that you've been giving more than you've been receiving, and that imbalance is no longer sustainable, and you're feeling it with the 32.3. Are you going to be taking this overgiving with you, right, into your next chapter? I'd say no, right? Don't. So this full moon is saying no more energetic self-abandonment. That's what this is. No more abandoning yourself energetically. You don't need to earn love, right? You don't need to earn love. You don't need to prove that you have value, right? That, oh, I'm the need to be needed, right? I've got to prove my worth. If it's not reciprocal, projectors, it's not if it's not reciprocated, then it's done, right? It's done. It's expired. Okay. And then you've got the Two of Cups sideways here. And this is a connection that's in transition. So a connection in your life that's in transition. And so this could be a twin flame. It could be a karmic relationship or a potential lover. It's not aligned yet, projectors. So this is the sacred pause on a soul contract. It's put on pause. So the love is there. That's what it says. The love is there, but the integrity may not be there yet, right? So maybe this equal give and take, right? Maybe this is what has to come into balance. So that is sideways. It says, is this connection draining you or is it nurturing you, projectors? Are you seeing them clearly or are you seeing them through the lens of hope? So this is the emotional check-in. Emotional check-in. So if you're doing all the reaching, like you're doing the texting, you're doing the emailing, you're reaching out to them, right? If you're doing all the inner work and they just float, right? They're not doing any of it, then you want to step back. You want to step back. So the anchor here is the Chariot, and this is you're ready to move. You're ready to move forward, right? But only when you're aligned. So that's when you're ready, right? So you're ready. You feel like I'm ready. I'm aligned. I'm ready to move on this, right? But if your direction is tied to someone else's pace, and maybe they're going like the pace of a snail and you want to be going like the Chariot, then there's going to be some issues here, right? You'll feel like you're dragging dead weight, right? That's what you'll feel like. So this card says the soul path is clear, but the energy isn't, right? So you want to clean it up and then you want to go. So let your direction come from your own inner authority, not emotional entanglement. So the spirit animal, 3 of them jumped out for the projectors, the snake, the cheetah, and the camel. The snake is about shedding your old identity. Right? So this is you that's waited too long. And the one that overgave in love, and the version of yourself that overgave, that's got to go, right? So this is the version of yourself that's settled for attention instead of devotion. So you want to let that fall away. You're not her anymore, right? With the snake there. And then cheetah is like power moves. Not proving, you're fast, you're focused, but this isn't about chasing. You're not chasing, right? It's about clean, powerful motion from inner clarity, right? So the cheetah says, wait until you're clear, your energy is clear, and then act without hesitation. So this is the projector precision in action. And then you've got camel, and camel is resilience in the desert. You've been walking through an emotional drought. Who's for me here? Right? I'm feeling it. I'm filling everybody else's cup and I'm not getting anything back. Right? It's been a drought with camel there. So this is not much about nourishment. It's a lot about silence, heavy inner work. And this card is your reminder that you've already stored enough wisdom to keep going. So trust your reserves, trust your process. Camel says you've got all the answers. All the answers are inside you, right? So your mantra for projectors is, I no longer give my light where it's not honored. I trust the timing of my path, and I move forward when the energy is clean, not when I'm hopeful. Right? And I'm hungry and I want outcome. It's like, no, when my energy is clean, I move forward. Right. Okay, and who is next here? Well, let's go for the generators. Why not, eh? There's the generators. Oh, they got the vulture. If you're a generator and you just skip to this part, you got to watch the beginning, because vulture is a big part of this 32nd. It's the totem. Oh, isn't that wild, eh? I forgot about that. Okay, so you've got the Eight of Pentacles. No surprise there for the generators. They're like the worker bees of the types. So this is saying, so this is your highest expression as a generator, is you're working, you're refining, you're improving, you're getting better every day. But it's more than work. This is a soul offering right here. And so this is, you're not just producing, you're consecrating your life through small, consistent, meaningful acts. So everything you're doing is being recorded in the soul realm, generators. So keep going, but only if it still feels true. So the work that you're doing, does it feel true? Does it have life? Does it have energy? Then keep moving forward with that. And then this is Seven of Pentacles, and it says that you're going to reevaluate your garden. And so that means you're going to go pause, take a pause, and you want to reassess what's actually growing in my life, right? And what's draining me. And am I harvesting or am I still hoping? Right? Are there fruits of my labor, or I'm just hoping that, oh, one day something will happen. So this is the Gate 32.3 message, which is stop investing in what no longer feeds your future. Can you see whatever you're investing in? Can you see that in your future? Are you seeing any fruits for that, right? So we'll stop investing your energy in it. So you want to redirect your sacred life force. And so then you've got the Anchor card, which is the Knight of Wands. And this is rekindling your passion. So the fire is there, right? That's what the Knight of Wands says. It's just buried under routine, right? Doing things by rote. So this card is the wild flame that reminds you you're not just here to be on the grind. You're not here to just grind through life. You're here to live with soul, speed, and sensuality. So if your work, your relationship, your rituals have gone dull, right, then you want to add fire. You want to add fire to it, not by blowing it up, but lighting it up again. Like put your passion back into this, right, if things have gotten dull. And that's going to show you, right, if you're going to preserve them or not. If what you're giving your flame to, right, is that person going to catch the flame, right? Is that whatever you're doing, is that going to catch the flame? And then you've got vulture. So this is a sacred cleanup, nothing wasted. This is powerful. This is the priestess of purification. She eats what's dead and then transmutes it. She doesn't chase what's shiny. She consumes what's true. So this means that there's no shame in the mess, no wasted effort. Everything is unstable if it's offered with clarity. Everything is usable if it's offered with clarity. Right? If it's given to you with clarity, then it's usable. So what are you still holding on to that's already energetically dead? What's energetically dead? What are you holding on to? You want to consume it, get the lesson, learn from it, and then release it. So your mantra, generators, is my work is sacred, my effort is seen, and I plant where there is life, and I burn away what no longer grows for this full moon. Okay, and then we've got the manifestors here. What do they got going on? Oh, there's the Lovers cards again. So the manifestors got the Lover's card here. So this is soul alignment is being offered to the manifestors, but it must be chosen. So this is the real deal, the Lover's card here. So love, purpose, sacred direction, even a divine masculine or soul mirror. But manifestors can avoid intimacy when it threatens their control. So this card is the call. Are you willing to choose love, manifestors, if it costs you your defenses? Are you willing to be seen? So this isn't just romance, the Lover's card. This is choosing to move from soul, from your soul. These are divinely orchestrated relationships, right? Soul to soul. So then you've got the Four of Cups reversed, and this is no more numbing yourself out, no more passivity, right? You've been emotionally checked out, it says, maybe for good reason. The world hasn't felt safe to bring your whole self in. But now you're waking up. So you want to stop dismissing the invitations the Spirit is sending you. You ask for more, but are you letting it in? Are you letting it in? So gate 32.3 says, stop preserving the pain of the past, right? By ignoring the call of the present. So Eight of Swords reversed in the anchor, you're not trapped anymore. This is a powerful sign that the mental cage is dissolving. What used to feel like I can't is now being exposed as self-protection patterns, right? So you're not stuck. You're scared of your own power. But that fear, it's the final gate that you need to walk through. So then you've got elk reversed and then raccoon reversed. So this is the false masculine armor. So this spirit in reverse is overcompensation. So you may be showing up as strong and I'm in charge. I got it all together. I'm independent. But inside you're craving to be held, right? To not do everything. To let someone in, not because you're weak, because you're ready, right? You're ready. So strength is knowing when to drop the armor here. And then raccoon says you're hiding your true gifts. So there's a part of you that you're still hiding. You're still wondering if you'll be ridiculed, rejected. That's a wound of the manifestors. Or misunderstood. So this is the creative, wild, expressive part of you, raccoon. This is the mystic. It's the artist. It's the sensual woman. It's the witch. It's time to be seen as who you are, right? Not just useful, but powerful. So your mantra is, I release the story that power means control. I choose what is real, even when it scares me. I allow myself to be seen, felt, and loved without the mask, without the raccoon mask on. Well, that sounds pretty good for the manifestors. The manifestors been getting some good readings, I've noticed. Okay, let's go for the MGs. Where's the manifesting generators? There they are. Okay. Okay, what do we got for the manifesting generators? We got the Emperor card. Okay, so the Emperor is the divine masculine power is waking up within you. Divine feminine, if you're watching this, right? The DM's waking up inside you. So you've been waiting for someone, right? Manifesting generator. You've been waiting for someone to hold it down, to show up, to lead with integrity. And this card says, tag, you're it. It's you. What you've been waiting for is you. Maybe you've been waiting for your karma, your karmic, to show up as the Emperor, the divine masculine. Or you've been waiting for your twin to show up as the divine masculine. But this is saying, no, it's waking up inside you. So you're being asked to become the inner emperor. This is building your own structure, right? Building your own structure, building your own life here. Anchor in your authority, your inner authority. Speak your boundaries, right? Hold your own fire without apology. So you're not masculine wounded. This is saying that, yeah, you may have had a masculine wound. It's like now, no, I'm masculine ready. I'm ready to embrace my divine feminine and my divine masculine. So this doesn't mean that you'll do it forever, but it means the foundation has to come from you first. So it doesn't mean, oh, well, I want to track my divine masculine then. It's like, no, it starts with you first. This is about being able to take care of yourself, like financially, right? Out in the world, create those structures for yourself, right? But it's not forever. And then the Ace of Pentacles here is a new offer is rising, but only when you're rooted. When you're rooted. So you're about to plant something new. Maybe you got a new business idea. Maybe you're going to plant a boundary, a version of your worth you're done with hustling, for crumbs, right? But this seed that's coming will only take root if your nervous system, your relationships, your time is clean, right? And then you've got the Emperor to help you out with setting boundaries, right? So do not accept any offer that doesn't match your frequency, right? Do not accept any offers that do not match your frequency, even if it looks good on paper, even if it comes with money or desire. This is a sacred new beginning, but only if you plant it with truth, right? You planted it with truth. So this means you need to know your self-worth. That's really important for you, MG. You need to know your self-worth. And then the Anchor card is the Seven of Swords reversed. So this is you're done. You're done lying to yourself, making excuses, right? This is the card of radical self-honesty. Honesty. Perfect for the full moon here. So the hidden escape plan is no longer viable, right? Oh, my strategies, right? Seven of Swords. Strategies and cunning and mask wearing and all that, right? It's flipped. It's reversed now. So you're done with it. So you're being asked to drop the mask, MGs. It means that you stop pretending you're okay with less. Well, the crumb, I get a couple crumbs in my work. I get a couple crumbs in my relationship, right? Stop pretending you're okay with less than sacred. That's your bar now, right? This is what I'm worth. My sacred. It's got to be sacred. I'm done with crumbs. So, telling yourself, you want to be honest about telling yourself the truth about that man, that relationship that you're in, that job, that situation. So if this relationship requires you to shrink or be silent or manipulate you to stay, it's not it. That's not it. So this gate 32.3 says stop preserving what's already dead. It's already dead. You got a dead body in there, right? You're trying to bring it back to life. It's dead. And Chiron in the 42 said, complete the soul contract already. Soul contract. Completed. It's been signed. You're done. Right? You're done. So the spirit animal is the crocodile. And the crocodile rests before it strikes. So the animal is your warning and your wisdom. You've been active. As an MG, you've been fast, you've been burned out, right? But now you're being called to go underwater, observe, right? Conserve your energy until it's time to move, So your power is in the pause, right? MGs, and your clarity is in stillness, right? When your body is still, when your mind is still, right? That's your power. So you want to stop reacting and start choosing. Start choosing you. So this is the medicine of disciplined fire, not scattered output. So the final, the manifesting generator mantra, I'm no longer waiting for someone to build it for me. I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to build it for me. I'm the emperor, right? I'm the emperor. I'm the root. I'm the gatekeeper of my own becoming, right? So believe in yourself, MGs. You can do it. You can do it. You don't have to hold this role permanently, but this will get you started, right? Will get you started. So really embrace this. Yeah, I can take care of myself financially out in the world. I can do it, right? I can do it. I'm an MG. Put it on your mirror. Remind yourself, I'm an MG. Very powerful types. Okay. And then, what do we got next here? Okay. And then we're going to finish it off with the reflectors. Oh. A lot of ocean energy here, eh? With the Five of Cups reversed and then the Nine of Wands. She's on a beach, and then oyster and octopus. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles is out in the woods. Okay, so what does this say? The Nine of Wands, that you've been guarding the gate too long and you're tired. Reflectors are tuckered out. Not just physically, but soul tired. You know what I'm talking about? Where your soul just feels weary, you know? So you've been hyper vigilant. You've been guarding your energy. You've been holding back your truth. You've been waiting for the world to feel safe so that you can really come out as a reflector, to show yourself in your full essence. Right? So you're not weak for being weary, but you don't have to keep proving your strength through silence. So this full moon is asking you to put down the armor. Another message, put down your armor. Not all at once, but enough to feel yourself again. And then the Queen of Pentacles is saying, come home to your body, Divine Feminine Reflector. This is you returning to your grounded self-nourishment. So it's time to feed your nervous system, right? By surrounding yourself with texture and earth and slowness. Right? Very Taurus, right? And reclaim rituals that make you feel held by you. Stop trying to keep up with energy that was never meant to be yours. And you're a moon mirror, right? Reflectors are all about the moon. You're the moon mirror. You're meant to flow, not force. And this is sovereign femininity, the Queen of Pentacles. So the queen who doesn't chase, right? She does not chase. She doesn't hustle and hassle. She doesn't grind, right? She cultivates. And then the anchor card is the Five of Cups in reverse. And this is the big one. You've carried ancestral grief, rejection wounds, moments when your emotional attunement was a burden, not a gift, but now the tide is turning. Right? So you want to stop gripping the sadness to feel safe. It's okay to release the grief. It's okay to release all this stuff. Doesn't mean that you're forgetting. It means that you're forgiving. So the Chiron in the 42 is speaking clearly. You want to close this loop with grace. And then you got your spirit animal as the oyster. And so this is hidden beauty. The oyster holds the pearl, right? Sacred protection. You've been holding something inside, reflectors. And it's a gift. It's a voice. It's a piece of your truth. And the oyster teaches you don't have to give it all away. But you do have to open just a little bit, right? So the light can see what you've made inside. So there's a pearl inside you. A pearl inside you, and it's time to share it with the world. And then you got octopus reversed. This is emotional overwhelm and energetic entanglement. So you've taken on too much that's not yours. That's what this is saying. Too much that's not yours. So this is a call to cut the cords, right? Cut the cords, clear your field, and stop merging with energy that depletes you. So this is your empathy is a gift. Right? As a reflector, your empathy is a gift, but it's not an obligation. So this is the final piece for the reflectors. is learning to witness, right, without absorbing, right? Learning to witness without absorbing. So your mantra, reflectors, is I release what is not mine. I soften my grip on grief. I nourish what is sacred within me. And I trust the world will meet me there. Okay. So that's what we have for the reading. And what do I want to say? To go to my website, and I'm offering new readings. So there's the soul purpose reading. There's also the twin flame reading, and that applies to if you're in a karmic relationship and you want to know, like, what's this all about? What's the purpose of this relationship? What lesson do I need to learn so I can keep moving forward? Perfectly aligned with this 32nd gate. And then, so twin flame or karmic. You don't necessarily have to be in a twin flame connection. And then the karmic past life read, which is really interesting. Just to see what past life gifts that you've brought in, what challenges from your past life. Anyway, it's all written up and ready to go. So if you want to check that out, go to my website, and I'll leave a link in the information box. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, like my video and share it, and please comment too, especially if you're a high priestess in hiding. That's the first step. It's like, I'm going to comment, and I know how scary that can be for a high priestess in hiding, right? You can even say I'm a high priestess in hiding, right? And that's the first step of becoming more visible, because these Pluto Scorpios have to come out of hiding, because this is your time, right, to share your gifts with the world. Okay, Satnam Aloha, everybody, and I will see you on Friday, I guess. Yeah, Friday. Okay, bye-bye.